You know what? The sad thing is, right, about Jurassic World is that, in a sense, it's kind of out of date before it even gets released. Hey everybody, welcome back once again to another exciting edition of Jurassic Park Builder, where today we have the opportunity to get the Andrew Sarkis, which we already have. So that's kind of pointless, but we'll go ahead and look and see if we got anything. Oh, well, 5,000 meat. Who is going to turn their nose up to that? Honestly, I am, because I wanted money. Cold, hard cash, you know, but there's Andrew howling away, doing his thing, having a good time. Feed him up and go ahead and evolve him, I think. I honestly think that, you know, today probably would be a good idea just to evolve as many Ice Age creations that we can. The reason why is because I'm getting ready to go all out and do Ice Age from start to finish and try to get, you know, one of those new DNA creations that I've been hearing so much about. Apparently, right? Apparently, Jurassic Park Builder has all kinds of different dinos, including the Carythodon. I'm trying to think of what else there is. I think I want to say the mammoth is another one. Obviously not a dino, but another creature added to Jurassic Park Builder. And I'm not sure. Like I said, I think the vast majority of these are exclusive to the DNA tournament. They really haven't done the best job explaining to the players of the game what is available exclusively to that. I mean, obviously we're seeing a few more pop up occasionally as, like, quote-unquote buy it now dinos and creatures. Not too long ago they had, I'm not sure if this was for Halloween or when it was, but they had a new, it was a new herbivore. I'm coming up on a blank now. I cannot remember for the life of me what it is. It was in the Triceratops family, and I'm blanking. I'm totally blanking. I'll think of it later, but yeah, I mean, they're just coming up with them, and it's nice to see that they are still adding creatures, because for a point I was a little worried that the game was gonna be abandoned, just just a little bit. I know you don't want to hear that, but yeah, I was a little freaked out, and I thought maybe that maybe it was winding down a little bit, but no, they're still developing, still underway, and that is just fantastic. So that is what we're doing today. We are evolving our glacier creatures, because, well, that is just it's just, you know, what we need to do to progress and live long and prosper in the game, of course. So Andrew, he is all done. He's going to chill in his incubator for a little while, do his thing. 22 hours, not bad. So in a little under a day he will be rested enough to display all kinds of new things, and mainly just color features on his fur, pretty much. But still, just like the dodo, right, does? Yeah. Go ahead and evolve our dodos, because that is the kind of day we're having. It's Evolution Day, playing God, evolving creatures that do not really ever need to be evolved. They obviously died off and became extinct for a reason, but we are pushing the limits of their genetic code, trying to evolve them, trying to help them survive in this crazy world where we pit rare evolutionary creatures against one another for pure sport. Yeah, it sounds a little bad when we say it like that, but oh well, that is what we're doing. So yeah, what genetic lab in hell actually takes digital Mario currency to play God? I mean, honestly, if you're gonna go and like improve a species, shouldn't you do it for like cold hard cash? You know, isn't that the saying? Cash and carry, right? Bring in your dodo, have him evolved to the epiphany of the species, and then just pay out the nose for it. No, Mario coins all the way, man. I suppose it's a good thing that we're not using cash, because that would get really expensive after a while, like $50,000 just for like one evolutionary try, and then poof, doesn't work. Yeah, that would blow hard. I mean, it really would. And you know, that's the thing, right? That's the thing about this process, is that it's just kind of like showing, like, a lot of gamers get really frustrated with the research center, and I understand. But that's kind of the thing about real life and science, you know? I mean, like, people are putting out, you know, that's why scientists need grants, because it costs so dang much to do this stuff. And I mean, like, at least with the coin system, we sort of get a reflection of that frustration, right? No, I'm sure that the game developers did not think in depth about the psychological ties between the two when they were putting this together. But hey, you know, just deep thinking about something that probably doesn't need to be thought about all that much, right? Yeah, it's just pressing a button, waiting for the DNA to come, and repeatedly getting XP in my face. Man, that sounds horrible. That could be a band name. XP in my face. Right? No. That'd be horrible. That'd be a horrible band name. Jesus. Taking our time. Doing evolution. Oh, what an exciting ball of fun this is. You know? Man, I don't know if I was just thinking about this just because we're in the creatures section, you know, doing the evolutionary stuff. But did you hear about the hippo, the Taiwanese? Is that what Taiwanese hippo? I don't know. We'll say the hippo from Taiwan. Okay. Well, this is actually a really sad story, okay, so just, like, plug your eyes for a second. There's this hippo, and he was being transported. Well, first of all, okay, this hippo was actually, like, a soap opera star, and he was the star of a local petting zoo, okay? And he was being transported. I don't know why there's a hippo on a soap opera in Taiwan. Who knows? You know, I really don't, because I know that that's what you're asking yourself, but yeah, that is a dodo. That's that's how we're starting this story. Jeez, a Taiwan hippo soap opera star. Oh my god. Okay, well, after you get over that, they were transporting this star hippopotamus from the set back to the zoo, or the zoo to the set. I'm not exactly sure of the destinations there. Neither is Dodicarus. He's like, just evolve me already. I'm like, alright. But yeah, they were bringing this hippo from one point to another, and in route, he flew out of the back of the truck. He literally flew out of the back of a truck like a magical hippopotamus, and it ended in tragedy because he smashed into a car, and then he laid in the street with tears coming down his eyes for hours. Hours. Yeah. I mean, that's just horrible. There's pics of it online. There's a video, actually, of the poor hippo crying. It's just horrible, you know? I mean, the little guy, well, the big guy, he suffered a broken leg, damaged teeth, and then, alright, to get this, right? After the hippo's laying there dead for hours, there's a report that they rescued him, quote-unquote rescued him, and then there was yet another accident later at the zoo when he died. No, I'm not saying he died on the truck. and then there was an accident. There was an accident at the zoo after he flew out of the truck that caused him to die. It's just like, what? Really? What? I just don't get it. I don't understand. First of all, why in the hell would you be transporting a hippopotamus in a truck? Nevertheless, a truck that's not fitted for an animal as large as a hippopotamus. Those things are like, what, 800 pounds? Something like that? Why? You know, why? And then he lays in the street for hours, bawling his head off, crying because he ran into a car, broke his leg, and broke his tooth. And the police just like tape off rope, and they just leave him in the center of the street crying for hours. What if we did that to Dodicarus? You know? No. 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 And this is in real life. I mean, this isn't in a game. The poor hippo. And now he's dead. You know, it's not funny. It's just tragic. It really is. It's... I don't know. You just gotta pause for a minute and think about that. Because it's animal cruelty at its finest, really is what it is. Exploiting a large soap opera star, and then leaving them lay in the street to die, pretty much. It's very sad. Just gotta rebound from that for a second. Okay, well, let's move along. Forget about that story. I just had to share that because it's just so incredibly horrible, and it just really makes you think. You know, like, what? It's just horrible. It's just horrible. It's horrible. God, it's horrible. I don't even know. But all right, we're dropping it. We're dropping it. Let's evolve our hippo-like friend here, and just make him grow and nourish himself. You know, actually, this guy, for him to be as large as he was, right? He'd have to be eating like 90% of the day. Isn't that nuts? Yeah. So when the Ice Age hit, obviously he was screwed. But yeah. So, while we're doing that, some other interesting news coming out of the scientific world that is not hippo related. Recently, in Utah, okay, they pulled a 9-ton block of sandstone out of a mountain that was believed to have the largest collection of fossils from the dinosaur, the Utah raptor, okay? Now, for those who don't know, the Utah raptor is basically a step up from the velociraptor, because in real life, the Utah raptor was bigger, it was covered in feathers, and it had a lot more muscle. Like, a lot more muscle. Think Terminator meets Predator, with all sorts of damage factor, and you're getting these guys to come around with less technology, of course, because, come on, they're animals, you know? But yeah, overall 6 Utah raptors were found in that rock, and scientists think that there might still be more trapped inside it yet. But the bones are like all mangled together and everything, and it's incredible. It really is, because like scientists are wondering how all these Utah raptors actually got trapped in the same spot. So it sort of lends credence to the idea that the Utah raptors and others like them hunted in groups. Not a new idea, but more to support that theory anyhow. But the best guess is that animals like a herbivore died in a hole and attracted the Utah raptors there, and they ate the animal and then they just kind of get out of the hole, so they died in a death trap. And that's just not cool, you know? I would hate to be the Utah Raptor that went out to Burger King and got trapped in the drive-thru. Nevertheless, I mean that's pretty much the same thing. But I mean, the Utah Raptors are like, I had my Whopper. Let me out. Oh, man, that's just sad. Oh my god, 4 down. Almost 4 down, right? Yep. Almost there. Almost there. Oh. Jurassic World? Who's hyped up about that? Man. I just can't believe it. Can't believe we're so close to it. May. Months away. Months away! Oh. And you know what? The sad thing is, right, about Jurassic World is that, in a sense, it's kind of out of date before it even gets released. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, what are you smoking? You know, no. That is not the case. It really is. Because here's why. Okay? It's because science itself is ever-changing. It's always evolving, if you will. No pun intended to what we're doing right now. But hey, it works. Even after a few years, most papers in the field of archaeology have already been rewritten several times after finding new evidence on various things. For example, that dinosaurs had feathers. Gastro, looking at you. Yeah. Let's go ahead and evolve our last guy, finally. Yeah, I mean, granted, Michael Crichton sort of took the lead when it came to doing scientific research made to make these movies possible and as memorable as they did. But even more so, you have to look at the series from the filmmaker's eyes, right? You have a blockbuster series that's loosely based around science. Well, loosely. It's based more around science than you would tend to think the, typical sci-fi movie would be. So, I mean, that's sort of the problem that they have. They're dancing back and forth between those two. So what do? How do you solve the fictitious science gap appropriately without damaging the fictitious foundation you already have? That's a real conundrum they have. So, I have an idea. And just go with me on this one because this is a little out there. It's a little crazy, but it's a thought, okay? What if several of the displays in Jurassic World, in the park, right, in the movie, were temporarily closed due to sick dinosaurs, okay? But in reality, they were like sprouting feathers and becoming unrecognizable. So some mysterious figurehead, we'll call him John Hammond. No, we're not going to call him John Hammond. John Hammond wouldn't do this. Some evil, mysterious figurehead was essentially killing them off and then having them recloned to give it like that Jurassic Park appearance again. So like you'd have like Betty the Triceratops, okay? And then all of a sudden the Betty the Triceratops exhibit closes and people are like, oh, where did Betty go? Well, she's sick, and like behind the scenes they're putting Betty down, recloning her, and then pretty soon there's Beatrice the Triceratops. And she's like a little tyke running around the cage. And people are like, oh, and they forget all about Betty. I think the idea of a dino genocidal maniac running the island would probably make for an awesome thriller. Instead of like the action adventure that they want to take this series. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. I mean, it's an avenue to go down that they really haven't done yet. And I think that would be a really insightful and cool way to have science win out and work its way back into the fictitious lore more accurately than ever before. Granted, there's still a huge amount of fiction there. But still, I mean, it would do two things. It would give the audience sympathy for the dinosaurs because, they're changing in appearance, they're looking different, they're sprouting feathers. And it would also give that science, you know, the allure to bring it back into the blockbuster series. I mean, there are so many different things, different positive things that you can take away from this, because then you can have your old classic dinos with your new dinos with feathers. You can put, you know, both into your series and intertwine them, like before or after, that sense of evolution. I know it's a stretch, it really is, but it's a thought, no less. It's a way to cope with the change, and what better way to make change than to make it sympathetic, you know? I mean, people would love it, I think, anyway. Also, we're putting Snowy Mountains down, just because I had 5,000 coins. I'm like, what can we spend our money on? How about Snowy Mountains, right? Hey, why not? Yeah, I know, it's only a movie, but movies are drastically imported into our culture. I mean, pretty soon you have uninformed people telling an archaeologist that dinosaurs never had feathers because they watched Jurassic Park and they just weren't there. And that's just wrong, you know? It's just wrong. What the heck is this doing out here? Stupid fern tree. God, get back there. We just had a rogue tree just out and about doing his thing. Did I put that there? I don't even remember. I hope there's nothing else just like looming in the snowy tundra. So yeah, I think that's it for today. We evolved 5 guys, did a whole heck of a lot. So in like 10 days, they'll all be evolved. That is just the tops. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Next time, hopefully we can bring our new evolved creations into Glacier Park tournament and give it a go and have a nice little run for a title, possibly. We'll see. Next time, here in Jurassic Park Builder. Bye.